it was really interesting. It's been really interesting for me to travel outside of the U.S. in my early highs out, to travel in my early days, because I feel like I learned so much about how queerness shows up in other cultures and sort of what people view and think of Americans. Um, and so let me just share. So I did a little bit of a really easy sort of like, talking about some of my favorite movies in a 3-part series. This one is Black and Queerish. I think this might have been the last one that I did, but movies like B.A.P.S, The Wiz, and Dreamgirls. And I would say that before the gays had housewives, they had these films to recreate, quote, and reenact. So you think about B.A.P.S, The Wiz, Dreamgirls. How many people have seen a black gay doing a Dreamgirls something or other? Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul. That's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. Pariah, Moonlight, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Like, one of the things here is, like, I know that Wesley Snipes is problematic given his, like, totality of his history, but that face card, as a dark-skinned man, Wesley Snipes is like a Zendaya for people of my skin color, right? It's like that man was doing it for us. Again, I'm not endorsing his whole life. I'm just saying that, there were a lot of things in there. And then, of course, Paris is Burning, where, people have stolen all the slang and they're calling it Gen Z speak, but it's not, obviously. He did body Noxema Jackson. That is just, I think between Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze being able to be macho men in action movies and to be able to do drag, well, I think they were considered drag queens, or cross-dressers. I need to remember what it was, because there's also that amazing line, which is just like, little Latin boy in a dress, why are you crying? The movie was well written, it was well acted, and it was great to see these men who are so well respected lean into these roles. And I just, I think that the way that Wesley Snipes also had blonde hair and Judge Dredd, I have just known as a dark-skinned man, I could do anything, right? Like, Wesley was that guy. Boomerang, I feel like I put this on the list of queerish because you definitely have Stranger, who feels queer, and a few other elements that if they were to remake Boomerang today, I'm absolutely confident that it would be a lot more queer explicitly. And, big thing with Boomerang is just like, it was an all-black movie in a marketing agency, which we don't see these days, Dear White People, of course, and oh wow, okay, so they were trained by drag queens. Well, those actors did their big one, and so let me see, what other one do I want to talk about? I will do The Campy and the Chaotic, and then I'll do the Prestige Queer Cinema as well. And then I'll talk about Pillion, just because I haven't gotten a chance to talk about that one. And I think if you're here, you might actually enjoy it, especially for my loyal person who's here and viewing. I think you'll really enjoy what I have to say about Pillion. So the first part was called The Campy and the Chaotic. And so, like, Serial Mom. Love Serial Mom. You will see 3 entries here from, oh my goodness, John Waters. Love John Waters so much. I think that he's done some really great things. And Kathleen Turner is a queer icon, just sort of so queer, so campy in her performance. I can't even say the word probably on live, but and then Crybaby is a movie that my mom loved, and I rewatched it recently, and I was like, this is kind of silly, but I love how silly it is. And then Hairspray, I like the original. I grew up with Ricki Lake, but I also just think, Ricki Lake supremacy. I think she was the best Tracy Turnblad, and I don't really need the musical version. And Ricki Lake was in all 3 of these. So, like, shout out to my girl Ricki. But I'm a Cheerleader. Great movie. Eddie Cibrian, very much burned into my memory. I know he is not ideal these days, but... And then if you were a nerd, you appreciated the Jesse Spano of Showgirls. And if you love camp, then you know that Showgirls as a movie is fantastic. And I will tell you that one of my favorite lines, besides the mispronunciation of Versace, is I've taken these classes and these classes and these classes. It's just, I don't know. I definitely should not have watched Showgirls. I didn't see it in the movies when it was on TV because that was like single digits. So probably somewhere between like 8 and 12. But that was good. Death Becomes Her. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Camp, 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 camp. I remember seeing the Broadway show this year, which was so good. And then just to come back up to But I'm a Cheerleader. Yes, Natasha Lyonne was in it. RuPaul was in it. And I'm trying to think, there are a few other people who were like big for the 90s at that time. And so, you know, some heavy hitters that show up. And then, okay, this one is super campy. And I love it so bad. So bad. Drop Dead Gorgeous is just so freaking good. Like, from the accents that maybe are not accurate and ideal, but I love this movie. Denise Richards, her face, so good. Amy Addams, like, Kirsten Dunst, Allison Janney, Kirstie Alley. The movie is delightful. I had a man that I was seeing watch this movie and he enjoyed it. It is just so good if you like camp. I think I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show at some point. I know that it's a queer thing and I just haven't had a chance. You know, Jawbreaker. I would say before there was Mean Girls, we had Jawbreaker, and you know that famous line, I can't say it on here, but yeah, Josie and the Pussycats, I think that's pretty obvious. And then the Batman movies, all of the hubbub about the suits. The Cat in the Hat, oh my goodness, Mike Myers doing anything is queer, in my opinion. And so I love the Cat in the Hat. Thought it was so good. And then Addams Family Value, oh my goodness, Debbie. I have a whole post on here talking about people pleasing, and Debbie is sort of like one of the patron saints of people pleasing, and sort of when you snap. Just, this movie is just delightful, just truly a delight. If I ever did one of them, like, the thing that them people be doing when they like are famous or whatever, and they're talking about the movies that they like or that are formative for them, Addams Family Value is up here for me. Chicago. This is like a comfort movie for me. It is just so well executed. They earned that Best Picture Oscar. This movie, just, everyone is just so good. Just so good. Just so good. Catherine Zeta-Jones, singular. Like, when you think about an actor who can do it all, it's her. It is her. She's that girl. Yeah, Rent, I saw, liked it, never saw the stage show. Oh, I've also never seen the stage show for Chicago. My mom took me to see Spice World. She knew. I loved Spice World. It's not a good movie, but when I was in elementary school, I absolutely loved the Spice Girls and collected all of the, like, the lollipop wrappers or the other collectible things that they had. If you were a young gay in the 90s, and by young I mean like you were in the single digits, Spice World, so the Spice Girls, that was the closest thing that we had to the divas that we have now for the youth. I'm curious. Anyway, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original, I actually liked this movie a lot, and I never actually got a chance to watch the series. Witches of Eastwick, obviously, Practical Magic, The Heathers. I put Edward Scissorhands on here because this felt queer and just sort of the otherness of it all. The Craft, shout out to Rachel True for holding it down for the blacks. And then I think the last one that I'll cover here, and I'll probably get off of here in like 15 minutes because I have not eaten dinner and I am quite hungry. This one was prestige queer cinema, so obviously Moonlight. What's so interesting about Moonlight for me is that I remember when the movie came out, I was talking to a few black men about why I thought this movie was so powerful, and they were like, but I'm not gay. And I was like, okay, so Moonlight is actually a movie about masculinity, and yes, it is wrapped up in gayness, but there is really no explicitly, besides the beach scene, homosexual act that takes place for the most part. Like, we still don't know if Chiron has actually ever been intimate in like a penetrative context with a man, right? Like, he has had longing, and he says that no one has ever touched him, right? And so when I think about the stages of how a boy becomes a man, there's so much from Moonlight that is extractable for any black man specifically who has to think about not being allowed to be soft, having to put on the hard exterior, which is very made clear from Trevante Rhodes's sort of build and everything about him. And, I can't speak to what it means to grow up as a white male. So, but I would say that Moonlight to me is a film that actually does a good job of encapsulating the journey of masculinity, of becoming a male. Brokeback Mountain, I feel like I need to tap back into this and actually watch this. Obviously, it's been a huge cultural impact. Tar, shout out to my girl, Cate Blanchett. Unlikable women matter. Unlikable women matter. And just her performance is just so delightful. Everything about this is one of my top 5 films of the last 5 or 10 years. I don't know what to say. Okay, so maybe I'll get to that in a second, that comment, but I don't know what to do with that comment. The Talented Mr. Ripley, I remember seeing it, but I probably should rewatch it. Maybe I'll figure that out this weekend. I never watched Call Me By Your Name. I'm not interested in the boring coming of age white queer stories. It's a genre that I have divested from, so don't know what to do with that. And then there are a few other movies that I heard about. Oh, Interview with the Vampire, Brad Pitt as a vampire. I know that he's canceled right now, but Brad Pitt as a vampire. And honestly, Tom Cruise looked really, really good. And Antonio Banderas. Just so many fine men as vampires, which obviously seems to be a clear trend and a clear theme.